got that going. Secondly, our presenter, who was supposed to, our guest speaker who was supposed to be here, had an unexpected emergency. So we are going to have him join us via Zoom or Microsoft Teams. He will still be able to speak to us, but he was supposed to travel down from Orlando. But there was a situation that he had to tend to, and unfortunately, he will not be able to make it in person. But he has made arrangements to be able to join us via, well, he'll join us virtually. Before we start, would you please stand? We're going to have our opening prayer, and then we'll transition into this evening's proceedings.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to come together and celebrate your children. Lord, you have blessed them with the gifts that allow them to have these achievements. May we give your name all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Fry. All right. So once again, welcome. We have a number of awards to give tonight. As a matter of fact, by my reckoning, by my counting, we have around 220 different awards to give tonight. It's a lot. We've put a lot of work into preparing, and we are excited to recognize the hard work of our students over the last school year. We are thinking about making the criteria even more stringent, because we're giving out a lot of awards. Right now we give awards for students who, like for the MAP Awards, for example, we give awards to students who are in the 75th percentile and above. Students who are in the 75th percentile and above are already generally at least 1 year above grade level, right? And we have so many students who are above grade level that we might have to make the criteria that we give the awards to students who are at least 2 years above grade level. So these are good problems to have. These are problems that we want to have as a school, and we thank God for how he has been blessing and how he has been leading. I have the privilege of introducing someone who has been instrumental in a lot of the initiatives that we have taken as a school. He's appointed by our conference to serve as the innovation director, or the director of innovation for our conference. He makes regular trips down to West Palm Beach to assist our students, and we work very close together to ensure that our students are being exposed to the most innovative forms of education, that they have access to the most current resources. He and I are currently working on some really incredible programs for students that I will share a bit more about later. But I am going to start off by having our speaker for this evening, Mr. Robert Henley. He's going to join us. I don't know, are we ready in the AV booth? He's not on yet? Okay. Okay, here he is now.
Okay, all right, take care. I can't hear you, Malana.
Yes, we are ready when you're ready. You're on.
I can't hear you.
We're hearing you.
Oh, can you? Okay, there we go. Great to be here with all of you today at this special occasion. I apologize for not being there in person. We had some technical issues here at the center that prevented me from getting down there with you. So I do want to go ahead and share with you some highlights of our program. And I can't share my screen, Mr. Smith. Okay, so here we are. First, I want to thank Mr. Mariano and his team for the awesome work that they're doing down there when it comes to innovation. And we were just so excited to see the young ladies there who had the opportunity to have their product featured on the news station. And I want you to know that the conference is so excited. Frank, our superintendent, had the opportunity to share that with the administrative body of the conference, and they were just blown away by the work that you are doing. And I constantly share this all the time with everybody about what you guys are doing. So thank you for that. So I wanted to just take a few moments to share with you um, what we're doing and with this. So for the past 6 or 7 years, we've been working on developing the innovation program, and West Palm Beach has been at the forefront with that, helping us to understand how that works and scaling it for K-8 education. And so this year we have changed the name of that program from the Florida Conference Innovation Program to AE4, which stands for Adventist Education Magnet School program for the fourth industrial revolution. It operates as a school within a school, and we're so grateful for what you guys have done. And I just want to give you some highlights of what we're doing with our program. And I do want you to know that we do have a founding verse, and that founding verse is Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a leader to the nation. So that's every single, that's God's promise to every single young person. And so it is our job to help discover the gifts that God has given each young person so that they can be successful. And it says here in Proverbs 18:16, a man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. And so again, our job is to uncover those gifts that God has given our young people, to put them on a pathway so that they can be successful, and that they can be leaders for Him. And West Palm Beach is indeed doing a great job in that space. So I just want to share with you over the years the impact of the program. These are external clients that have actually hired kids in the program, the for a program to develop products for them. Loma Linda, Genetic Pharmaceuticals, a plumber. These are people who've done this, and here are some of the products that they have developed for these people here, which is so impressive about what these kids are able to do. And here are the competencies that they're learning in this program. We have design thinking, we have Scrum, we have the Lean Startup Method. These are all the things that they're able to do. So we're excited about that. Um, with that, so we talk to professionals to find out these competencies to put them in the program so your kids are learning these things. And so there are three areas of impact. There's simplicity research. So all of our kids are learning how to do research just like your young people are doing there. Then there's social innovation where we want them to solve community problems. And then entrepreneurship. So these are actual companies that we've actually started. LLCs registered with the state of Florida. And so your young people, when they get to the point with their products and we're ready to launch them, we have partnerships that will actually turn them into companies. I have a partner here in Orlando that's ready to take those three young ladies and the other young people who have graduated with their app that they've been working on, even though they're in the public school. Mr. Smith has been working with them. So we want to provide them with resources and help them become companies. But the really big thing that we want to do is our K-20 multi-year research pipeline. We want to be able to take these young people and pair them with professionals from Loma Linda University, from Andrews, from Southern, from Oakwood, to lead them through their career. I have an example here. This young man was among a group of young people that went out to Loma Linda in 2019. They actually made a prototype to replace this device for Loma Linda. And he met this gentleman here, Dr. Michael Davison, and began working with him on his research. He's doing research on a robotic leg for above the knee amputees. So Brendan has been doing research with him all the way through his high school career. And then we had a physical therapist approach us with a product or a problem. And Brendan and his friend formed the company. They actually made a prototype. I wish I could tell you what it is, but they made me sign a non-disclosure agreement. And he happens to be my son, and that's a good way to shut up his dad. So he just had me sign that non-disclosure agreement. But here he is pictured sharing that prototype with one of the CEOs from Advent Health Hospital System. And so he had a chance to go to Oakland for their college days tour. And I called the chair of the department, of the biology department, up and said, hey, this young man has an invention. I would love for him to share it with you. After he shared it with her, she was so impressed that she said to him, if you come to Oakwood, I will give you your own research lab. And here he is pictured in his own research lab. And as a sophomore at Oakwood, he was able to take the research that he started in the 9th grade with Dr. Michael Davison, and he presented it at the National Science Foundation's Emerging Researchers Conference. And so this is what we want to do with your young people. Even though they may graduate from West Palm Beach in the 8th grade, we're going to keep working with them. I've already made contact with professors and research scientists from Loma Linda and Southern, and I want to introduce those three young ladies to them. And so we have arranged for a meeting in the future for them to be able to partner with them, their researchers to be guided. And as they matriculate and go to college, we want them to be able to find a home where they can continue doing their research. And we want that for all of our young people. And So just want to quickly get to this part here. Um, and if you recognize those young people, I think that's Nico, another young lady who've been working there, and they are, I believe, now in the 11th grade at the public school, and we're still working with them. And so these are all mentors that we have the opportunity to connect with our young people. And last year, as you know, those young people, young ladies came to our Innovation X competition and won the whole thing. So we were so excited about that. And there's a special program that we have at Loma Linda during the summer. And so some of your young people who really dive deep into this program will have the opportunity to go out to Loma Linda. That's our medical university in California, Loma Linda, California, and experience a full week of research with these professionals. And this is a picture from a few years ago. So we've been doing this now for a couple of years. And then we also have an opportunity for them to come here to Advent Health and spend a week here exploring the opportunities at Advent Health. I'm really excited about this part because our kids who are in this program, they actually get internships. And so here are some young people who have received internships at these major companies because of this program. And we're so excited about that. And so your kids will have the opportunity to do that. And here are some of the universities that the kids who have gone through the multi-year program have been accepted to. And here are our partners. So we're just so excited that West Palm Beach has taken the lead with this program, and Mr. Smith and his teachers, the great work that they're doing. So I know parents, you have to be proud and excited about what's going on there at your school. And we are here committed to support you and your students on this journey. So I need you to understand that West Palm Beach is leading the way in innovation in the Florida Conference, and we're so proud of the work that they're doing.
All right. Thank you. Don't know if Robert can hear me, but I want to thank him as well. He can't. And if I unmute here, it's going to cause an echo probably, right? Testing. Yeah, I'll talk to him afterwards. But I want to thank him in your hearing for taking time out of his busy schedule to share with us. One thing I want for you to understand, if nothing else, how many of us are familiar with ChatGPT? I mean, that's become ubiquitous right now. I mean, a lot of people are using that. If not ChatGPT, you have Copilot, you have so many other different platforms. The point is, we are preparing students for an entirely new world. We cannot use the same methods that we've always used. We cannot teach the kids the same things that we've always taught them. Our students have to be prepared to take on this new world heads on and be equipped from even this early age with the skills that they need to be able to function in the new world. We have to prepare our kids for jobs that do not yet exist. It's a challenge, but it's something that as educators, we have to work towards. So the innovation program that we have here that has gotten even national attention at this point. Mr. Henley has mentioned that even at the conference, there have been so many conversations about what our students are doing. That is something that we will continue to push. We will continue to channel our students in that direction. Of course, we'll prepare them for traditional career fields, but we also have to prepare them for careers that do not yet exist. So that's going to be a big focus of what we are doing and what we will continue to do. As I've mentioned before, we have incredible students. We have incredibly smart students, and they have to be challenged, they have to be pushed to live out to the potential that God has given them. So a couple of initiatives I want to brief you on. We are going to be starting extracurricular activities formally in September, but one initiative that we have is going to be our Sparks Academy. This is going to be an academy where the students who have invention fair projects that are noteworthy, we will continue to support them to ensure that these projects become viable products that they can market, that they can create, that they can get scholarships and internships, starting the work even right here in middle school. I don't think you understand what we're doing here, but what we're doing here is absolutely revolutionary. You will not go to every school and see some of the things that we're doing here and the things that our students are being exposed to. We're working with universities all across the country. The three young ladies who Mr. Henley mentioned, those who won Innovation X last year, Anna, Uzziah, Christy, you'll hear their names called, well, their names will be called once, but they'll be getting quite a few awards tonight as well. And other students who put in the hard work, who have shown the discipline, will be given opportunities to create partnerships, to start research products, and we're already in contact with a number of universities. This summer, we're planning to take those three girls and possibly even more students all the way to California, to Loma Linda University, where they'll actually be doing research with university professors. That's incredible. And this is at middle school. A lot of times, students have to wait until they're in college to have these kind of exposure. And we'll be taking our middle school students to California for that kind of an experience. We're also in contact with Southern Adventist University. They want to create some partnerships because they see what our students are doing as well. And they don't want to wait until these students are 18, 19, 17 years old. They want to create partnerships with them now, support them now, give them access to university resources even now, university professors even now, and even funding so that they can continue the work that they've started here. So I just want to give you an idea as to some of the things that we're undertaking here, and to encourage your kids to strive for the highest. We want to create a climate here at our school where excellence is the norm, where students are challenged, where they feel like I have to go above and beyond. And we want to push them, we want to challenge them, and not just challenge them, but we want to be able to support them in their endeavors. We have another exciting project that we're going to be launching to our Sparks Academy as well. We have partnered with a company. He's a friend of mine actually who does professional cinematography, who does professional video work. He has a documentary that is shown all across the country. He wants to come in and he wants to work with some of our students who have that particular interest. So our students are going to be actually creating a YouTube series with a professional director, producer, and this, once again, it will be for students who have that particular desire, have that particular drive to get this real-life exposure and just exposed to the incredible new opportunities that are in existence. So I ask you to continue to pray for our school, continue to support our school, continue to support our students, because we are really doing some incredible things here at our school. All right? All right, so without any further ado, let us transition to our awards ceremony. We're going to go by grades. I'm going to ask first the kindergarten teacher, the pre-K teacher, to join me up here as we hand out our first set of awards. Mrs. LeVay, Miss Melville. We'll be giving awards to the ex-pre-K students. And so this evening we're giving awards for different categories. We're giving awards for attendance because we want to emphasize punctuality and the importance of showing up, being punctual. That's an important skill for students to learn and to develop. So we have awards for punctuality, for attendance, rather that encompasses punctuality and attendance. We have awards for citizenship, These are students who over the span of the year have been consistently recommended by their teachers for exemplary conduct, who match up to the values that we try to teach here at West Palm Beach Junior Academy. To our students will be given awards for students who participated in our local events, our spelling bee, or math bowl. Those students had to qualify for their classes to participate in those local events. So we will be recognizing those students as well. We'll be recognizing students who participated in the invention fair, the winners, overall winners of the invention fair, and also those who placed first in their class. We'll be recognizing students who were on the honor roll for all 4 quarters of the last school year. So for a child to receive that award, they had to be on the honor roll for all 4 quarters. We are also giving awards for MAP assessments. For the students to receive these awards, they must have scored in the 75th percentile or above for 3 consecutive quarters, for all 3, not quarters, but all 3 testing periods last year. We tested in the fall, the winter, and the spring. The students must have scored in the 75th percentile or above all 3 times to qualify for that award. And once again, that's not an easy thing to do. If our students are scoring the 75th percentile or above, it means that our students are performing well above grade level, and we want to recognize that. So let's start with some pre-K students. I don't know if they're all here. We might have a few awardees who are not here this evening. Let's get started here. All right, who's the first student we have there? I don't have access to that slide here. Okay, we have Ariana Peer. Ariana? All right, so we will sort that out in a second. Ariana is getting awards for spelling bee. She participated in the spelling bee for last year and represented her class really well there. Our next pre-K student need someone to just keep the slideshow rolling because I don't have access to the. Okay, so let's move on to kindergarten. Our kindergarten students, or rather those who were in kindergarten last year, our first awardee is David Aristizaval. Is David here? David is receiving an award for reading this evening. That means that he scored in the 75th percentile or above in all 3 MAP assessments last school year. Our next student from kindergarten Kyle Bourgeot. Is Kyle here? Kyle is here. Kyle is receiving an award for citizenship. She'll have a medal for citizenship. Kyle is also receiving an award for reading because she scored in the 75th percentile or above in all 3 MAP assessments last year. Next, from kindergarten, from last year's kindergarten, Kyle is in 1st grade now, but this is last year kindergarten. We have Kervins Demius. Who receives an award for citizenship. Next, we have Anshana Florexel. Anshana is receiving an award for citizenship. After Anshana, we have a student who is no longer here with us. Still want to recognize her. Her family moved to Georgia, I believe it is, Shamarlia Henry. We'll ensure that she gets her award. Next student we have Jake Innocent. Jake receives an award for citizenship. After Jake, we have Ella Irving. Ella also receives an award for citizenship, exemplary conduct. Next we have Wardenska John Pierre. Is Wardenska here? Not here. We'll ensure she gets that. Next we have Naomi Vincent. No, my apologies. Myra Perjuiced. Myra Perjuiced. Myra is getting an award for reading. 75th percentile or above all 3/4 for citizenship. For exemplary conduct, she won our spelling bee winner for kindergarten last year. Myra was also a Math Bowl participant for the last school year. Stand right there for your picture. Next. Wonderful. Next, we have Atara Raphael. Atara is getting an award for participating for being a qualifier in the spelling bee last school year. As soon as we find her award, we'll get that to her. Next, from kindergarten, we have Thaddeus. No, sorry. Brea Similian. Brea gets an award for being a qualifier in the Math Bowl for last school year. I think she also has an award for citizenship. Next, we have Naomi Vincent. Naomi was one of the participants in our Math Bowl, qualifiers for the Math Bowl last school year as well. I don't see her, so we'll move on to first grade. We start off with Thaddeus August. Yeah. We now need to change the teachers. All right. We will still keep our kindergarten teacher and we'll have our first grade teacher. So Thaddeus. So Thaddeus receives an award for reading, testing in the top 75 percentile for all 3 periods. for citizenship, no, for math. He was a math bowl participant. Rather, he qualified for his class for the math bowl as well. Next, we have Rose. Rose Cardine Exume. Rose is getting an award for reading, for being in the top 25% for all 3 testing periods last year for reading. I think it's reading and math, is it? Yes. Okay. Next, we have Alfred Johnson. Alfred is receiving an award for reading and also qualifying for the spelling bee from his class for last year. Next up, we have Andrew Levy. Andrew gets an award for reading, being the top 25% or above the 75th percentile for all 3 testing periods, and also for being a qualifier for the spelling bee. All right, next we have Mario Macien. Mario gets an award for reading, being in the top 25% nationally for reading for all 3 testing periods. He was a spelling bee winner for his grade. He was also a math bowl participant or a math bowl qualifier from his grade in the last school year. Next is Mia Perez. Mia Perez gets an award for reading. For testing in the top 75% nationally. Next, we have Zane Val. If Zane is not here, we will move on. We move on to 2nd grade. Terrence August. Terrence is receiving an award for reading, for citizenship, and for being a math bowl participant for his grade. Next, we have Riley Duncan, who's not here this evening, but she's receiving an award for citizenship. We have Mirabella Francois. Mirabella receives an award for reading, for being in the top 25% nationally for reading, and for being a spelling bee participant. So spelling bee, reading, and citizenship. It's Mirabella. Next we have Jax Innocent. Jax is getting an award for citizenship, for exemplary conduct during the last school year. To Jax we have Stephen Ledger, right? Stephen is receiving awards for reading, for being the spelling bee winner for his grade, and for being a qualifier for the Math Bowl last school year. Is Stephen here? No? Okay. Next is Glorinell Manderson. Glorinell Manderson receives an award for citizenship and for math achievement for being in the 75th percentile or above for all 3 testing periods last year. Next we have Christopher Paul. I don't see Christopher. Christopher is getting an award for citizenship. Then we have Juliana Ulysses. Juliana isn't here either, but Juliana would have gotten an award for citizenship and for participating in the spelling bee. Next we have Liam Ventura Perez. Liam gets an award for citizenship and also being a qualifier for the Math Bowl for his class last school year. And I believe that finishes our awardees for 2nd grade. We now move on to those who were in 3rd grade for last school year. Starting off with Joshua Dorzilme. Is Joshua here? No. Joshua would be getting an award for being a part of the winning 3rd grade group for the invention fair for last school year. I believe his invention was it Supra? Right, but yes, Sutra, right. So Joshua was a part of that winning group. No, this is Macario. So Macario gets an award for being in the top 25% nationally for reading, for being a Math Bowl participant or a Math Bowl qualifier for his class, for being a spelling bee winner for his grade, and also for being a student leader. He was a sergeant at arms for the House of Ephraim. Next we have Madison Joseph. Madison Joseph is getting awards for being in the top 25% nationally in language arts, being in the top 25% nationally for science, and also for reading. She has 4, so what's the 4th? Science, reading, what's this one? Math and language. So actually Madison was in the top 25% nationally for all the subject areas that she did last year. Next we have Benjamin Levier. Benjamin was part of the winning invention fair group for his grade. So we have Christine Massien. Christine's getting an award for being in the top 25% nationally for language arts. which is incredible because Christine came to us not being able to speak English. But after a couple of years with us, Christine is in the top 25% nationally in language. I didn't speak much English at all when I met her in, what was that, first grade, second? I don't even know now. Christine also gets an award for being in the spelling bee for her grade and also for being a part of the Winning Invention Fair group. Next we have Darlene Prieto. Darlene gets an award for being in the top 25% nationally for language arts, for science, for reading, and for being a qualifier in the Math Bowl for last school year. And I know I'm going by grades, so sometimes your child might have gone already, but we ask you to stay back to support all our students. I'm asking you to stay back out of solidarity and support for our students. Next, we have Jaden Renee. Jaden gets an award for being in the top 25% nationally in language arts, in science, and in reading. Stand up, right? Next, we have Arthur Caleb Silva. Arthur is getting awards for being in the top 25% nationally for language arts, top 25 nationally for science, top 25% nationally for reading, for being a member of one of the winning groups for Invention Fair, and also for qualifying for the Math Bowl from his class last school year. Next, we have Ezra Similian. Ezra is getting an award for being in the top 25% nationally for language arts. Ezra was also in the top 25% nationally for reading. Where's the second grade teacher? Where's the... Yeah, there's supposed to be two of you. But I wanted the second grade teacher to be here as well. Yes. You didn't... Oh, never. You have third. Never mind. Never mind. Yes. Next, we have Amari Tittle. Yes. Amari. Yeah, actually, Miss Guerra. Yeah, these are your students now. For the most part, some of them. So yeah, I want you to be here with them as well. So Mars gets in an award for being in the top 25% nationally for science, the top 25% nationally for reading, for being a part of the winning group for his class for the Invention Fair, and also being a spelling bee qualifier, and for being a Math Bowl qualifier from his grade. And I'll add again, Amari is one of our real success stories, and it should be an inspiration to other students. Amari was in Title I up until, was it second grade? I don't remember now, right? And our Title I program is for students who are struggling with reading and math. We give them additional support, additional help. We pull them from class. They have a tutor that comes in and works with them. And Amari has tested out of that program, to the extent where now he's in the top 25% nationally. That's incredible. And that is testimony to the hard work of our teachers and also to his family. So if you don't hear me say it again tonight, I want to let you know we have some of the best teachers here at West Palm Beach Junior Academy. I cannot stress that enough. We have some of the absolute best teachers working here with us. And when home partners with us, we have incredible results. Next, we have Joshua Davis. Joshua Davis Is Joshua here? He's not here tonight, but he gets an award for spelling bee and for being a math bowl participant from his classroom, participating in both a spelling bee and being a qualifier in both events. Next, we have Taylor Foote. Taylor was a spelling bee winner for her grade last year. Taylor Foote was also the student who raised the most funds in our fundraiser last year. So I actually have a bicycle that I'm going to gift to Taylor because she was the main fundraiser for our bikeathon and our kite day last year. Taylor has that one coming. All right, next we have Anchara Florexel. Anchara was a part of the winning group for the invention fair. I believe her group did the super stove. It was a stove. Anybody ever run out and wondered if you've left the stove on? Yeah, that has happened to me multiple times. Her group created a device that if you leave the stove on, you can, wherever you are, you can press a button and it will be automatically turned off, right? So that has happened to me multiple times. Happened to me on Sunday. That's how recent it was. Mari Gonzalez Arcila. Mari was also a part of that invention group that created the super stove. She was here earlier. I don't see her now. Next, we have Serena Robinson. Serena. Okay. Serena has an award for perfect attendance. Serena was never late nor never absent last school year. She has an award for citizenship because she demonstrated exemplary conduct in her homeroom. She is a sergeant at arms for the House of Judah. Thank you, Uzziah. She is a part of that winning group for a super stove for the invention fair. She was a spelling bee qualifier from her grade. She was a math bowl participant from her grade. Well done, Serena. Next, we have Luciana Torres Riano. Luciana is getting academic awards for being in the top 20. As a matter of fact, Luciana is a bit above the top 25% because she only and consistently tests in the blue. So Luciana is probably in the top 2% nationally in some of her subject areas. She gets an award for being in the top 20%, we'll say, for language arts, for science, for reading. She gets an award for citizenship, for exemplary conduct. She has an award for being a student leader because she was the chaplain and I think treasurer for the House of Reuben last year. She was a participant in our math bowl, a qualifier from her grade as well. Lastly, from that class, we have Blesson Vertuzma, who I don't believe is here right now. Blesson is getting an award for being one of the participants in the math bowl. We now move on to our 5th grade students from last year. We start with Shaylee Aguilar. I saw Shaylee earlier. I don't see her now. Shaylee is getting an award for citizenship. Next, we have Mark Lee Bourgeau. Mark Lee gets an award for being in the top 25% for all 3 testing periods last year for science. Next, we have Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown receives awards for being on the honor roll for all 4 quarters for the last school year. He gets an award for being in the top 20% nationally for science. He gets an award for citizenship, for exemplary conduct, He gets an award for being a Math Bowl participant, a qualifier from his grade, and he should get an award for being in the top 20% nationally all the time for math. Nathan is one of the best math students that we have. By now, I don't even think he's testing on a high school level. I think maybe he's beyond that. But I'm serious. I'm being serious. Yeah. Next, we have Haniel Demange. I don't think Haniel's parents or his family is here, but we want to recognize Haniel. Haniel was on the honor roll for all quarters last year. He has an award for being in the top 25% nationally for all the school year in language arts, in science, in reading. Has an award for citizenship, for being a house leader. He was a sergeant of arms for the House of Dan. He was a spelling bee winner. He won for his class, and he was a Math Bowl participant or qualifier for his grade last year. Next, we have Aliyah Dorius. Aliyah is getting an award for citizenship, and Aliyah also gets an award for being a house leader. She was the chaplain for her house last school year. Alyssa Dorius, her sister, is getting an award for citizenship also and for being a house leader last school year. Next, we have Chloe Santiesteban Dalmau. I haven't seen Chloe. I don't think she's here. Chloe has an award for citizenship and for being a Math Bowl qualifier for her grade last school year. Next, we have Deanna Gonzalez Arcila, who had to leave early. She has awards for reading. She was in the top 25% for reading, for being a qualifier for the spelling bee, and for being the vice captain for the House of Ephraim last year. Next, we have Anthony Gonzalez. Anthony Gonzalez was the treasurer for the House of Ephraim last year, and he's been recognized for that. For those who are not aware, we divide our student body in houses. Each house has different positions, and our students receive training in those different capacities. If they're a treasurer, they receive training in finances. If they're a secretary, they learn to take minutes and learn to take notes and learn to give reports. They learn to conduct meetings using Robert Rules of Order and lots of different. They plan school-wide events as well, outreach activities, fundraisers, all of that as a part of being a student leader here at our school. Next, for 5th grade, we have, is it Isaiah Raphael? That's right. Isaiah gets awards for being in the top 25% nationally for language arts and for reading for the last school year. Next, we have Samira. Is it? Right, Samira Vasquez. Samira gets an award for citizenship. She was a qualifier for spelling bee from her grade, and she gets an award for being a student leader. She's not here, but I still want to recognize her for the awards that she's getting. Jimena gets an award for being in the winning group, the Super Stove for Invention Fair. She gets an award for being a student leader last year. Also, she was a sergeant at arms for Reuben. Next, for 5th grade, we have Nathalia Vidal. Nathalia gets an award for being in the top 25% nationally for language arts, for reading, and for science during the last school year. We now move on to our 6th grade students. Last year, 6th grade. This year, 7th grade. We start with Anne-Charles Florexel. If I'm not, am I? Do we start with Anshar or do we start with Josiah? Josiah, my apologies. Josiah Bunzi. Josiah, who is not here, gets an award for being on the Invention Fair team last year. I will... Josiah was a part of a group that created the Brain Booster. If I'm not mistaken, that project sought to help people with mental memory loss, elderly people with memory loss, right, and created a device that would help in that regard. So Josiah was a part of that group with another student who I'm going to call shortly. Next, after Josiah, we have Alyssa Campbell. Alyssa gets an award for language arts, being in the top 25% nationally for language arts and for reading. Alyssa is always reading. It's no surprise that she has awards and she places so highly nationally for these subject areas. Next, we have Samira Dumerlas. Samira is not here, but Samira is getting an award for citizenship. Next, for Samira, we have Mia Duncan. Mia, who's not here, gets an award also for citizenship for the last school year. Next, after Mia, we have Anshar Florexel. Anshar gets an award for citizenship, for exemplary conduct. She gets an award for being on the honor roll for all 4 quarters last school year. And then Charles gets an award for science because she tested in the top 25% nationally for all 3 quarters last school year, for all 3 testing periods last school year. Next, we have Austin Poteau. Austin gets an award because he was a qualifier for the Math Bowl from his class. It means that he's a very good math student. Next, we have Cora Renee. Cora gets an award for citizenship and for being one of the Math Bowl qualifiers for her grade last school year. Next, we have Samuel Robinson. Samuel gets an award for being on the honor roll for all 4 quarters last school year. It's consistency. He was a Math Bowl participant or a qualifier from his homeroom. And Samuel was a second part of that team that created Brain Booster last year and scored the highest for his grade level. Lynn Gabriel Simon. Okay. Seems like Lynn has a fan club. Lynn gets an award for citizenship and for being in the top 25% nationally all year last year in language arts. Next we have Paris Williams. Paris, I don't believe she's here. Paris gets an award for citizenship. Next, we go to our grade 7 students from last year, who are our current 8th graders. All right. Let me tell you something about this group of students here. These 8th graders are... we've started map assessments as you know, we've been doing map assessments. This week we started, right? In our 8th grade class, those who've been here before, you know how the map assessment is. You have blue, that's for children who are way above grade level, at least 2 years above grade level. You have green, which is still above grade level, yellow, above grade level, on grade level and above. Then you have orange, which is slightly below grade level, red, which means that a student has some work to do to get caught up. There's not one student in our 8th grade class who is below yellow. Not one student, from what we've seen so far. So this is a very sharp set of students. They work extremely hard. I want to encourage them to keep working hard. Matter of fact, I was on the phone today making some calls because I'm trying to build a 9th grade because I don't want to lose these students. Believe me. That's a serious conversation I was having today. How can we look to launch a high school program for students for next year? That's something that is in the works. I'll give you some update on that later, but I would really hate to lose this group of students here. So let's go with our 7th graders for last year. We start with Valencia Cassius, who is not here, but Valencia would have gotten a house award for being a house leader for last year. Next, we have Christy Dumerlus. Christy was on the honor roll for all 4 quarters last school year, including being on the principal's list for 1 quarter. She was in the top 25% nationally for language arts, for reading. She was also a part of that winning group that created Biosensor, the group that was featured on the news, the group that Mr. Henley made reference to as well. And she was also a house leader. She was the deputy or the vice captain for the House of Dan for last school year. It's Christy Dumerlus. Next, we have Abigail Glorianne Manderson. Abigail Glorianne Manderson was on the honor roll for all 4 quarters last school year. She was in the top 25% nationally, all school year for language arts and for reading. Next, we have Ana Camila Mendieta Galindo. Anna was on the honor roll for all 4 quarters last school year, including being on the principal's list for 2 of those 4 quarters. Again, the principal's list, you have to get 95% or above in every subject area to even qualify to be on the principal's list. Anna was in the top 20% or even higher nationally for language arts, for science, for reading, and for math. She gets an award for being a qualifier from her grade for the Math Bowl. She was also on that winning group of the invention fair that created the Biosensor. I was motivated by the loss of Mrs. Ang, as you will recall. And Anna Camila also gets a house award because she's a vice captain for the House of Judah. Next, we have Uzziah Moise. Uzziah was on the honor roll for all 4 quarters last school year. Uzziah gets an award for citizenship. She gets an award for being a house leader. She's a house captain of the House of Judah. She's been so for the last 2 years, I believe. She was a part of that winning group for the invention fair that created the medical device, like I mentioned, that was featured on the news, Biosensor. She was a qualifier for the spelling bee from her grade. She was a qualifier for the Math Bowl from her grade. And Uzziah scored the highest in the school for her writing assessment. We do a RAP assessment for 5th through 8th graders, and Uzziah got the highest score for her, not just for her class, but for the school. Next, we have Emily Ortiz Lainez. Emily receives an award for citizenship. Always been extremely helpful, Emily. Next, we have Omar Perez. Did I see Omar? Yeah, here he is. Omar was also a part of one of the winning groups for the Invention Fair. Omar was a part of the group that did the, was it the, what did you guys call it again, Omar? Yeah, they changed the name. So it was the Package Protector, EcoStash, but it was a device meant to prevent package theft, right? That was also featured on the news as one of our Invention Fair projects. Omar also gets an award for being a Math Bowl participant. He qualified for that for his group. Solomon Poulard, who I don't believe is here, but Solomon gets an award for being in the top 25% nationally for the entire year for reading. He was a chaplain, one of our most consistent chaplains for the House of Judah. He was a part of that Invention Fair group that did the Package Protector that I just mentioned for Omar. He was a qualifier for the Spelling Bee also. Next, we have Gamaliel St. Clair, a.k.a. Naji. Naji was also a part of that winning Invention Fair group. There were 3 groups who were tied for the highest scores in the Invention Fair. It was Biosensor, Yapper Chopper, and the Package Protector. All 3 groups went to Innovation X in Orlando at Advent Health, and all 3 groups placed in their categories, with Biosensor winning the overall competition last school year. Next, we have Mateo Solorzano. Mateo gets an award for being on the honor roll for all 4 quarters last school year. Being on the principal's list, I believe it was twice, or at least twice, last school year also. He gets an award for citizenship. Mateo is a resident, do it all. He's in the AV booth, he's flying the helicopter, he's piloting the plane. Mateo was also a part of that Invention Fair group that did the Package Protector or EcoStash that also placed in Innovation X in Orlando. He was a qualifier for the Spelling Bee. He was a qualifier for the Math Bowl as well for his class, as well as being in the top 25% nationally all school year for language arts. Next, we have some of our students who have graduated from us, but were in our 8th grade class last year. I know most of them would not be able to make it. We do have some available. I know I saw Chelsea. So Chelsea, we do have some awards for you. All right, let me follow the script. All right, Chelsea, hold on. So Ameline would be getting an award for citizenship for last school year. Kimberly Contreras Perez, or Angel first, my apologies. Angel was a part of that group that did the Yapper Chopper, which is the device that monitors noise level, sends an alert to keep the noise in check. Angel, and then we have Kimberly. Kimberly was a house leader for Dan last school year. She was the qualifier for Spelling Bee. She got the 2nd highest score in the school for a writing assessment. She was a part of the Math Bowl group, the qualifier from her class as well. Nathaniel DeMage was on the honor roll for all 4 quarters. He receives awards for science and reading for being in the top 25% nationally. He was on the Yapper Chopper Invention Fair team as well, that winning team. He was a treasurer for the House of Dan. Next, we have Chelsea Poto. Let me talk about Chelsea a little bit and embarrass her now that she's here. Last year, when Chelsea came to our school, she moved from Port St. Lucie, and she did not want to be here. Chelsea was crying all through orientation. And no, we can't get her to leave us. Again, it speaks to just the atmosphere that we have here at our school. She came, our students made her feel a part of our family. She has grown, she has blossomed, she has matured, and she was the class president for a graduating class, and she's getting an award here. She gets an award for citizenship, for good conduct, exemplary conduct all throughout last year. She was a qualifier for the spelling bee and a math bowl participant last year. Not bad for somebody who didn't want to be here at all, Chelsea. Next we have Danny Prieto, who is not here. I saw his dad earlier. I know his sister was here as well. Okay. So Danny gets an award for being a house leader from last year. He was on the Invention Fair team for Yapper Chapper. He was also the spelling bee winner for his grade. We recognize also Abigail Smith, who is not here, but Abigail gets an award for being a house leader last year. She was also a math bowl participant from her grade. Then we have Siobhan Topping, who was a part of that Invention Fair group that did the Yapper Chapper, that went to perform really well at Innovation X as well, placing in their categories. I think that is the awards I've mentioned. Do I? Yeah. I think I gave all the Invention Fair awards already. I mentioned those students, right? As I mentioned, we had the Biosensor group who won Innovation X entirely. We're looking forward to continuing to work with these girls for this school year. We are, like I've said, we're working on taking them to Loma Linda in the summer, God willing, for them to get some research experience, talk to some of the professors there, see what other assistance, exposure we can provide for them. This is the Yacker Chucker group. We'd love to take some of these students as well with us. The Package Protector group. We've mentioned all these, the group of boys here who did extremely well, placed at Innovation X as well. Super Stove, those are girls who made that invention, like I've said. If you ever leave your stove off, this is the group that created Sutra, which was a self-cleaning aquarium that these students worked on last year. And then we had the Brain Booster. This was Samuel Robinson and Josiah Bunzi working on assisting people that have memory loss. So our students are doing meaningful work here. We want to continue to push them. We want to continue to encourage our students to continue to aim for the highest. And we're committed to supporting them as best as we possibly can to ensure that West Palm Beach Junior Academy is a school that is known for excellence, that is known worldwide for the quality of students that we produce. But we can only do that with your help. So parents, I thank you for being here. There's one last award that I'm going to give, and this is a group award. This is for the winning house for the last school year. The winning house for last school year was which house again? Seems like we have only a few students from Ephraim here, right? But which house did you say won last year? Yeah, they probably won't win this year, not with that. No, it was not. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Judah. I know Judah wanted it. They wished. I think Judah finished second, right? Well, you know what they say about second? You don't know what they say about second? Okay, I won't tell you. But second is notable, but Judah, I know, is going for first place this year. So where's the house leader for Ephraim? Where's the house leader for Ephraim? Where's Aunt Charles? Come on, Charles. I thought you would be up here already, girl. So students in Ephraim, these are those generally with last names. Is it E to L? They earn points through academics. Like if students are on the honor roll, they get MAP awards. All those points go towards your house. Field day competition. We'll have a big party to celebrate with Ephraim the next time we have house meetings. So I want to congratulate those group of students who performed so well last school year. That's it. I think those are all the awards that we have for, is it? Oh, Miss Fry has some awards that she wants to hand out as well. This is due from orientation. We just wanted to recognize those students who completed the scavenger hunt for the school handbook. So you mind telling us who those students are?
Andro and Anaya Wood. They're not here. Okay. Abigail Glorianne and Gloria Nell. I also have one for Uzziah. And one for Austin.
All right, thank you. Again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your continued support. I'm going to ask you to stand as we pray. To close, you're free to take pictures afterwards. If you take pictures, please post them. Please tag West Palm Beach Junior Academy in your picture so that we can celebrate with you. Ms. Buckley, can I ask for you to pray for us to close, please?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the awards and all for being able to see our past students once again. We ask you for traveling mercies as we go home. I pray in thy holy name. Amen.
So just some quick reminders. Let me see all those who will be at school tomorrow morning, bright and early. All right. If you're here tomorrow bright and early, you'll be here by yourselves. Okay? If you're here early Monday morning, you'll be here by yourself.